Welcome to Cobalt College Field here on Gemenon as we get ready for our fifth match of the day. I'm not quite sure how we're going to top the finish of that last one as Tauron and Sagittarion battle to a 2-all draw, but we are going to try here as Gemenon and Canceron get ready to go at it. Two teams who took losses last week, so trying to get into the winner's column are both of these sides. Once again, hello and welcome here to Gemenon and Cobalt College Fields here on the campus of Cobalt College. Also the home of the Gemenon twins. There you see the two keepers meeting at midfield, talking this one over. There you see the starters for Gemenon, Tim Howard in net, Danny Welbeck and Miroslav Klosa, the two men going to be trying to score the goals for the twins. Don't count out Gary Cahill and Matuidi in the back as well. They will be holding down the defense. On the other side of things for Canceron, they surrendered 4 goals to Libran in their first match. Definitely trying to turn that around. Joe Hart will be the man minding the net. Ronaldinho, Thierry Henry will be the men moving it forward. Fernandinho's up front as well. And it's a team that realistically has a very good chance of scoring the ball just about every time they touch it are Canceron as we are underway. Canceron are wearing the white jerseys with the green trim. They're going to be moving right to left across your screen as they are the away team. Gemenon in the red and green jerseys moving left to right across your screen. You've got Ronaldinho, you've got Thierry Henry, you've got a lot of people that can just score the ball every time they touch it. I'm willing to say that last week's match against Libran was just a bit of a misnomer, but I guess time will tell, and we will find out how they do against Gemenon here. Gemenon, the unfortunate recipients of a hat trick at the hands of Sagittarion last week. That's just kept in by Padoan. He's going to move it forward now for Wayne Routledge. Routledge gives it back to Padoan. Nice little 1-2 ball there. Attempting to find Welbeck in the middle. Pastore got a head on it to keep it away. And Palacio will pick it up on the other side. Here's Palacio dribbling forward now around Carlos Martinez. Still with it is Palacio. Eventually gives it up to Ervidi in the middle. Now Thierry Henry around one defender pretty easily. He's going to pull it back out though. Finds Fernandinho. Canceron offensive possession here. Padoan slides in. Here's now the chance. Fernandinho dribbles it back towards the penalty area. Good job by Padoan to get back on defense. They were looking for that one little break. The one defender that went down to get around was Fernandinho. Tried to take the opportunity, but very good catch-up speed by Padoan to make sure that nothing any more dangerous came of that opportunity. Here is Fernandinho once again with it. Midfield stripe, now dribbling forward. Padoan up to the challenge once again. He takes it away, but a bad pass forward gives Canceron the ball right back. Two teams that are very eager to prove themselves after their performances in week 1. As Martinez going to clear that one off his back line. Here's Miroslav Klosa now. Klosa scored in the 3rd minute against Sagittarion, and it looked like Gemenon might have a chance to, really make a statement against the team that drafted number 1, but from that point on, it was all Ibrahimovic as he's the ball in for Klosa. Oh, bad first touch by Klosa. Was not quite able to control it off of his chest and cleared out by Canceron. Ball going to be headed away, and Palacio is going to go pick it up for Canceron. Here's Thierry Henry. He gives it up to Martinez, or excuse me, to Pastore. Martinez, the defender. Nice little spin move around him. Trying to send Fernandinho. Fernandinho does manage to get a foot on it. He's got Ronaldinho in the middle if he wants him. He says he's going to pull it back out. Give it off to Ronaldinho. Has the shot and a goal. 9 minutes into the contest, Ronaldinho has broken the ice, and Canceron leads it 1-0. Poor marking in the middle there by Gemenon, as way too much space for Ronaldinho to work, and he easily puts it in the back of the net. So Canceron leads 1-0 early going here against Gemenon. Danny Welbeck trying to dribble all the way through the Canceron defense. Does a pretty decent job of it, too. He's going to get in on keeper. Sends the ball to the middle. Not all the way out, as it will finally be punched away by Joe Hart. Hart got an initial hand on that, tipped it high up into the air. Had enough time to get back on his feet, as Routledge going to have a shot. Or excuse me, Welbeck has the shot and sends it wide. You see just a little bit too much on the right side of the football for Welbeck's strike. Not able to find that back post. Here's one more look at it. Sails wide by about a yard or so. So Gemenon trailing it by 1, trying to get back into this one. Again, still early, just the 11th minute, but a very quick goal by Ronaldinho. Canceron comes out and makes a statement early. Here's Padoan. Gives it for Fagner. Fernandinho gets in the way of the centering pass. And he will get the pass back. Sends it forward for Ronaldinho now. Van Ginkel is going to come back and try to play defense on him, and does a very good job of it. Good defensive play by Van Ginkel to get it off of Ronaldinho's feet. There's one move around them, though, by Ronaldinho. Another maybe chance here for Canceron. A little too fancy that time, as Van Ginkel is able to clear it and keep it in play. Padoan's going to move it forward for Gemenon here. Gives it to Fagner. Alberto Moreno is going to come down and play defense on him. Fagner loses it over the touchline. Beautiful job of defending. Moreno forward for Fernandinho now. Here's Ervidi. With it in the middle of the pitch for Canceron. Up to Pastore. Back down to Ronaldinho. As Colsini will take it off the back line and send it forward for Ervidi. Very patient are Canceron. The Hydras trying to pick their spot. Verratti coming forward. He's picked up by Routledge. Verratti, nice little turn. Still with it. As Routledge got a foot on it, but not enough to dispossess. Now back to Ervidi. As Palacio going to send to Pastore. Here's Ronaldinho. Another ball through to Pastore. He's going to get on the end of it, and can he get it into the middle? 2 on him, including Tim Cahill. Dribbling around both is Pastore. Still looking to get an alley for a centering pass here. Cahill got a foot on that one, and it's going to go out. So a deep throw coming here for Canceron. It goes to Palacio. Still looking for that centering pass are the Canceron Hydras. Here's Pastore. Had the chance. Instead, he's just going to pass it on the ground to Ronaldinho, who's going to dribble towards the middle. Here's Ervidi. And the defense is good. A lot of build-up for a lot of nothing there for Canceron. As Padoan going to chip forward for Klose. Never quite got to him. Colsini got in front of it before it could. There's Verratti now. Nice ball through the legs, but Van Ginkel was ready for it. Routledge tries to chip up to Welbeck. Santon got a chest on it as well, so it's going to be a deep throw coming up here for Gemenon. Chance to move down the field without a defensive presence. And unfortunately for the Twins, they lose it right back out to the Hydras. Ronaldinho dispossessed. And Gemenon will take it once again. Ball chipped forward, but a bad pass. Canceron will take the throw. Glad you're joining us here. Week number 2. This is match number 5 of the 6 scheduled for today. Caprica and Leonis coming up after this one. And still a long way to go here. 21st minute. Canceron leads it by 1. Ronaldinho scored the icebreaker for Canceron. Here's a chip forward for Verratti. Or excuse me, for Pizzi, working over Verratti. Sends it to the middle for Padoan. Ervidi got in front of it. And Canceron with the chance maybe to counterattack here. Ronaldinho on the ball. And we'll pull it down. And Gemenon is back with numbers. Routledge will eventually come away with it. Pizzi tried to send forward there for Van Ginkel. Nothing doing. Colsini's going to make sure that doesn't fan out. As Ronaldinho back with it for Canceron now. Pass a little too far forward, and it will be out for a gemenon throw. Again, both these teams sitting on 0 points, desperate for at least one, but they would love 3 here in the early going. Here's Ronaldinho up to Palacio. If things stay the way they are, Canceron will be taking the 3 away, but like I said, still very early going here. 25th minute, we play 45 in half number 1. As Fernandinho trying to work through the double team. He will instead turn it back out and give it to Verratti back in the middle of the pitch. Now forward for Ronaldinho. Maybe had a through ball. Instead, he's going to dribble it to the corner of the penalty area himself. Worked over by Cahill. Centers through, and Tim Howard able to make the diving stop. Howard boots it up. Colasini for Canceron will pick it up. Canceron definitely seems to be in control of this one. Gemenon not having too many offensive chances here. Henry trying to get it forward. Matuidi picks it out, looking forward for Welbeck. Verratti going to make sure it doesn't quite get there, and Palacio will once again move forward for Canceron. He's going to take it himself. Ronaldinho is offside. Palacio going to dribble all the way in. Howard came off his line. Fortunately, wasn't needed, as that's going to be cleared away before it ever gets to him. Here's Routledge moving forward now. He has it taken off his feet by Palacio. 28th minute, Canceron leads it by 1. There you see the passing numbers for a couple of these selected players, Routledge and Ervetti. Boy, for a center mid, Ervetti with 100% passing, he is spot on today. As Pastore dribbles around one defender, he is past the line. Can he get a centering pass in for Ronaldinho? Carlos Martinez steps up to make sure he doesn't get a decent foot on it, as not able to keep it in just over the touch line for a throw. Intercepted though. Here's Pastore for Palacio. Back to Ervetti. He's going to turn for Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho has the shot, got deflected before it ever got to the net, and out for Gemenon. Boy, Ervetti might have been a little bit too unselfish there. I think he might have had a shot had he turned and ripped it with the left. Here's Pizzi coming back the other way. Santon's out to meet him. Pizzi going to try to center it for Klose. Klose unable to finish. Oh, that was there on a platter for Miroslav Klose. Look at how wide that net is open, but Klose not able to put it on frame. Boy, he might be haunted by that one tonight, as Gemenon still trails it by 1. Matuidi wins it in the air over Ronaldinho, as Gemenon once again try to come forward. Here's an attempted ball forward for Welbeck. Way too much on that, as Danny's going to be unable to track that one down, and it will go out for the goal kick. Big boot forward from Joe Hart. Once again, one in the air by Canceron. Routledge going to be the person on the ball this time, working on Verratti. Verratti wins it pretty cleanly. Santon forward for Pastore. Here's Routledge. Attempted to get a step forward. Good job by Canceron to keep him at bay. 33rd minute. Again, the Hydras still lead it by 1. Ball sent forward for Pastore on the far side of the pitch. Gemenon moving their lines up a little bit here, trying not to let Canceron get the ball forward into their own offensive third. Been relatively successful thus far, but here is Ervetti breaking that line and dribbling forward. Van Ginkel steps up to take it away. And now Klose. Klose chip forward for Pizzi. Santon over, but Pizzi's around him. He's going to try to... Oh, bad touch there by Pizzi, but he's going to get rewarded for it. But the centering pass was equally as bad, and it's going to go... Not quite out, but Padoan's going to keep it alive on the touchline. He's going to try to send one in, and his clearance goes harmlessly over the end line. All sorts of miscommunication going on there by Gemenon on that offensive possession, as Joe Hart boots it back into play. Thierry Henry has it for Canceron. He will lose it to Fagner. PT coming forward now for Canceron, or excuse me, for Gemenon. His centering pass for Welbeck is going to be no challenge for Hart. That bent beautifully. It looked like it was going to go way over the end line, but Hart managed to come out and get a hand in it before Welbeck could get it to his head. Canceron still leads by 1. Here's Alberto Moreno. Gives it off to Fernandinho. Has to slide to keep it in, but does so. Gives it up to Ronaldinho. Up to Pastore. Pizzi's going to step in front. And Tim Howard's going to come off his line to send it away. There's Fagner. Gives it up to Padoan. Up to Fernandinho. Fernandinho still with it. Gives it up to Pastore. Tries to move around. Pizzi can't do it. Here's maybe a chance now for Gemenon. They have numbers. Pizzi sends Closa. Closa puts it through to Welbeck. Welbeck is in on net. Welbeck going to have the little chip punched away by Joe Hart. Bicycle kick attempt, and Hart's going to snag that one as well. Boy, golden opportunity there for Gemenon. Just not quite able to convert was Danny Welbeck. Here's Ronaldinho. Gives it off to Henry. Henry for Fernandinho. Now back to the middle for Ronaldinho. Cahill steps up, gets a foot on it away from Verratti. Verratti going to try to make a move around him. Cahill still not budging. Verratti does manage to successfully navigate Cahill, but Carlos Martinez comes up for a little assistance, and they will clear it away. Will Gemenon. Here's Padoan now. To the middle for Routledge, but Palacio is going to step over and take it away. Fernandinho, nice little move there around Padoan. 43rd minute, time winding down here, half number 1. As Fagner fighting with Fernandinho, he's going to give it up. Pastore picks it up off the foot of Routledge. Here's Palacio now. Carlos Martinez makes a nice defensive stop as Welbeck tries to clear it out. Van Ginkel on the near side is going to send forward for Welbeck. Maybe another chance here for Gemenon as the half is coming to a close. Welbeck leaves it for Padoan on the near side, looking to get a cross in. Close has almost got a head on it. Managed to be kept out. Headed back in, and Joe Hart, easy pickings for him as he picks it up. Gemenon has had a couple chances here late in the half. Unable to convert. Joe Hart has been up to the challenge thus far. 2 minutes of stoppage time to be played here in half number 1. As Fagner trying to dribble in. He's going to give it up for Pizzi. Pizzi for Welbeck on the far side of the penalty area. Now Welbeck can dribble back towards the middle himself. Santon equally up to the challenge. He clears it away. Tweedy tries to chip it back in for Pizzi. He's going to be able to track it down, but once again, Santon, defensive stop, and he will clear it out for Pastore. Couple heads get to it. Joe Hart's going to come off his line and just basically put a big boot on it. Send it down, and I would suspect that will harken the halftime whistle here pretty quick. As Ronaldinho will take it across the midfield stripe, and there is the whistle. Halftime here on Canceron. The only goal is Ronaldinho's, as the Hydras and Twins have had a pretty good defensive struggle here. Good chances for both sides. Here's the goal from Ronaldinho. You see just nobody on him in the middle. You cannot give him that much space. Beautiful diving save there by Joe Hart. And another save here by Howard as that ball trying to be snuck through the middle. So that is going to do it here for half number 1. There you see the stats. 1 goal for Canceron is the difference thus far. It's their only shot as well. 5 shots for Gemenon, 1 of them on target. Canceron leading the possession battle very heavily, almost 60-40. Gemenon will start with the ball here, half number 2. Again, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Canceron leads it 1-2-0. Gemenon, the Twins, the home team, wearing the red and green jerseys, moving right to left across your screen. The Canceron Hydras, the visitors, in the white jerseys with green shorts, moving left to right across your screen. A 9th-minute goal by Ronaldinho is the difference thus far. As Ronaldinho attempts to send forward for Palacio, Fagner gets on the back of that. He will attempt to send forward for Welbeck. Couple heads get on it. Klose is going to pick it up. He gives to Routledge. Routledge thought about threading the needle. Instead, he's going to take it himself. Now he's going to get a through ball to Pizzi. Pizzi gets a foot on it. He's in the penalty area. Again, too many touches from Pizzi, and the defense is able to get back as Pizzi will lose it out over the end line for a goal kick. Oh, excuse me, corner kick. Did not believe that was touched. Padoan will take it. He will hit it short, and Pastore gets a foot on it to take it away. Attempted shot back in. There's a head and a goal. Carlos Martinez redirects the shot, and he will put one in the tally book, and we are tied up at 1 apiece. I don't buy for a second that this was a pass, but it works as Martinez gets on the back side of it, gets a head on it, and puts it into the net. Joe Hart caught completely switched up. He's moving to his left to try to keep the shot, not at all expecting the deflection, and Carlos Martinez ties us at 1 apiece in the 49th minute. That is a boost that Gemenon needed for sure. As Pastore gives it forward for Ronaldinho. Ervidi sends up for Palacio. Palacio forward for Ronaldinho. He's going to dribble through a couple of defenders. Van Ginkel eventually gets a foot on it. As still not done as Ronaldinho, though. Still driving and trying to do a little too much by himself there. He's going to send it wide. Tim Howard puts it back into play. Sends it short to Cahill. This is the time. Both of these offenses have really been floundering thus far, both today and last week. This is the time for someone to step up and not only change this game, but potentially change their season. Two teams desperately in need of some sort of offensive spark. See who can get it here in the last couple minutes. Still plenty to play. 40 minutes left to play here. 52nd minute as Van Ginkel is going to knock down that attempted cross. He's going to drive in. Looking to do something with it is Van Ginkel. As too many touches. Fernandinho is going to get a foot in there to knock it away. There's Palacio moving forward now for Canceron. Drops it for Santon. Fagner intercepts the forward pass. He's going to drive now. Chips it forward for Routledge. Routledge is through. Has the chance and a goal. Wayne Routledge in the 53rd minute has put Gemenon on top. It was simply an interception and a little chip through. Little too aggressive by the defensive line, and Routledge has given Gemenon their first lead here today, 2-1. Boy, talk about a turn of events for Canceron. Feeling pretty good about themselves, having the 1-goal lead into the break, not even 10 minutes in, and they have surrendered 2 to the Twins of Gemenon. Ball sent up to Fagner. He was the catalyst of that last goal. There you see the shots. 8 for Gemenon, just 2 for Canceron. Klose driving in, possibly going to get another one here. Moreno gets a head on the cross, and Klose loses it out of play. Joe Hart has surrendered 2 very quick goals here as he puts it back into play. Fagner with it now, far side. Trying to dribble on Fernandinho. Can't do it. Henry gives it back to Ervedi. And trying to chip it forward for Henry. Nothing doing. Padoan moving forward now for Gemenon. He's picked up by Fernandinho. Had a couple tugs. Here's Welbeck. Welbeck is past the line. Welbeck going to try, and Welbeck has scored in the 57th minute. And they are pouring it on now, our Gemenon. Joe Hart looking at his back line just in disbelief at the amount of times that they are letting Gemenon attackers straight through. Look at that. Completely untouched is Welbeck, and there is just nothing that Joe Hart can do there. Gemenon leads 3-1 over Canceron. Well, I mentioned it before that some sort of offensive spark was going to be needed here. Gemenon has found it. 3 goals in very rapid succession, and the Twins are going to make this one look like a runaway here. There's a chip forward for Palacio, not going to get there as Tim Howard comes off his line to scoop it up. There's going to be some talking and some head scratching going on in the Canceron locker room if they are not able to at least get one back here today. Is Pizzi going to bring it forward now? This team that on paper looked like it should be an offensive juggernaut for the Hydras is having very, very difficult times finding the back of the net. Here's Padoan, chips it forward for Routledge. Routledge trying to dribble around for Welbeck. Welbeck top of the penalty area. He's going to dribble in. Welbeck going to have another one, and Danny Welbeck has put in another one. 59th minute, 4-1. Boy, how the tides have turned, and the route is on. That's one that Joe Hart should probably save. But Danny Welbeck finishes, and Gemenon leads 4-1 over Canceron. The floodgates have opened here at Cobalt College Stadium. Home fans are loving it. And there is definitely going to be some head scratching and some serious discussions going on in Canceron, as this is now the second time that they have allowed 3 or more goals in 2 games. Henry moving forward, trying to salvage something here for the Hydras. He's going to give it back to Ervedi. Padoan's going to pick him up, and that's going to be out for a corner kick. So maybe a chance here for Canceron. Fernandinho will take it. He's got 4 white jerseys in the box. Curls one to the top of the penalty area. Henry not able to get ahead on it. Palacio's going to go track it down. He loses it to Welbeck. Closely going to give it up to Padoan. As I cannot believe the turn of events that we have seen here as Welbeck coming forward. He's going to leave it for Klose. Klose has in it. Klose's in on net, and Miroslav Klose just misses. Desperate to get in on the scoring action as Klose as that one, you see, by about 2 inches, misses the woodwork. Something desperately needs to be done here for this Canceron back line, as they are very, very porous. Things are coming in hot and heavy right now for Gemenon. Cahill back out to Fagner. To Routledge in the middle. Padoan chips forward for Van Ginkel. He's going to get it right back. 4-1 Gemenon here. 63rd minute as Welbeck is offside. That's a close one. That might be a poor call as well. Welbeck looked very, very, very close to being onside. I thought they were level. But Canceron will take a call if they can get one here. That's going to be chipped forward for Fagner. Trying to get around Ervedi. He's going to pull it back out. Now Klose in the middle. Klose for Routledge. Here's Van Ginkel now. Around a diving defender, gives it off to Pizzi. Pizzi's got to drop to the near side touchline if he wants it. Instead, he's going to dribble right around Colcini. Tries to center it. Nobody's going to be on the other side. And that is going to go out for a throw. Throw is going to be taken by Fernandinho, as he tries to move around Padoan. Nothing doing. He's forced to drop it back to his own back line. Ervedi down around to Verratti. 67th minute here. Again, Gemenon leads it 4-1 after an absolutely offensive outburst here in half number 2. 4 goals in about 15 minutes as Ronaldinho chips forward for Thierry Henry. Looking for any sort of offense right now for Canceron. Fagner steps back, picks it up. It's going to be sent all the way to the front line for Klose. Klose did a decent job of dribbling around one defender. Couldn't quite beat them both. Once again, there's a chance forward now. Henry slow down with that first touch. If he sets it out in front of himself, he might have a chance. Instead, he tried to settle it under his feet, and the defense caught up with him, and that will be cleared away by gemenon. Here comes Danny Welbeck moving forward now with it for gemenon. He's going to send Closa. Closa is onside, and good job by Alberto Moreno to get a foot in there and stick Closa. Closa manages to pick the loose ball back up, though. He's going to cross it with the left. He's looking for Padoan. Padoan is on the back side of it, but is unable to settle the cross, and it will be picked up by Joe Hart. Joe Hart, the #1 pick for Canceron, has 8 goals against in 2 games. Something that I'm sure his manager is not going to be very pleased with at all, as here's Closa now. Certainly not all on Joe Hart, for sure. The defensive line has been letting these runs just streak through them pretty much unanswered, but lots of questions need to be asked of this Canceron defense as we go into week 3. As Verratti gets around 1 defender. Still with it is Verratti. Again, this one's still not over, 72nd minute, but it will take the miracle of all miracles for Canceron to come back here. Here's Henry. Tries to dribble through Pizzi, making sure that doesn't happen. He's going to try to run it now for gemenon. Pizzi for Routledge. Routledge going to dribble back towards the center. Not quite sure who that centering pass was trying to find. I think it was Van Ginkel. Did not find him in any event, and it's going to be back into Canceron's possession. Ball sent up to Fernandinho now for Canceron. Again, trying to find that offensive spark are the Hydras. Going to send forward for Verratti. Fogner's going to go over there to pick him up on defense, and Fogner's going to win the ball. Subs coming in. Fernandinho is going to be checking out. QB will be checking in. Throw-in is going to go to Moreno. He will send it off to the substitute. Looking to get a cross in here is QB. Fogner again guarding him, and once again Fogner wins the challenge. Still a deep throw for Canceron. Once again, the throw will go back. This one to Ervetti. Dribbling it towards the penalty area. Lots of open space. But Padoan will eventually step forward and take it off his feet. Here's Welbeck now. Maybe a chance for a mini breakout coming the other way. Routledge. Is he going to go all the way up the field? He will. Here's Padoan. Worked over by Alberto Moreno. And Moreno is going to step up and take him off the ball. Cleared forward by Moreno, but not all the way out, as gemenon will bring it right back in. Here's Routledge. Gives it off to Van Ginkel. Pizzi picks up the loose ball. Nice sliding challenge by Ronaldinho, but once again, all the red jerseys in the area around the ball. As Van Ginkel dribbles through to the top of the penalty area, still with it. A couple of whiffs from Ervetti, but he will manage to finally possess and take it out of the area. Ball forward to Palacio now. Here's Ronaldinho. One touch pass back to Palacio. Managed to get through the defense. Has to pull it back out though. Didn't have any help. Palacio still with it. Now dribbles towards the penalty area. Once again, he's going to pull it back out. Looking for someone to get a pass off to. Just no white jerseys able to have any sort of help, as he will lose it to the gemenon defense once again. Martinez shoots the ball forward for Closa. Intercepted before it got there. Here's Thierry Henry. A couple defenders on him. Henry has the shot with the left and sends it sailing high. 80th minute here. Gemenon leads Canceron 4-1, and that outburst of goals here in this first 15 minutes or so of this half have put Canceron have put gemenon on top, presumably for good. As ball thrown into Padoan, he's going to give it to Van Ginkel. Canceron just looking to salvage some goal differential here now. As Palacio going to go pick that one up. Yeah, if the score remains the same, Canceron's goal differential is going to be -6 for their first 2 matches played. 8 goals allowed to just 2 scored. As Pastore loses it to Pizzi. Something desperately needs to be done here for Canceron. As Pizzi going to send forward for Van Ginkel. Santon has been a bright spot for this Canceron defense today. He's made a couple brilliant defensive plays. As Ronaldinho loses it out to Martin, but he will win the throw. There you see it, in fact. 5 tackles for Santon. More than the defensive star Cahill for gemenon. Henry gets on the backside of this cross. He's going to dribble in towards the 6. Centering pass, not able to get a foot on it. Were the Hydras, and it's going to go out once again for a clearance. Boy, missed opportunities. Bad passes through the box. Too many touches. All sorts of things mounting up here for Canceron. Here's Closa. Gives it off to Carlos Martinez here in the near side touchline. Closa dribbles around Ervetti, trying to move in here. Taken off his feet in the 86th minute. Time winding down here on Canceron. I would assume there's going to be 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage time considering the amount of goals scored, but still time winding down here on the Hydras as Padoan almost knocked Henry off the ball. Henry managed to get back and get a pass off. Sent to Verratti in the middle. Now Ervetti up to Palacio. Cahill steps forward to take him. Palacio's going to send it back out to Henry in the wide position. Henry dribbles through, looking to get a centering pass in. He'll instead leave it for Verratti, and Routledge will receive the clearance for Gemenon. Ball forward for Welbeck. Welbeck with a nice pass back for Routledge, trying to thread it through to Pizzi. Not quite able to get it there. Here's Santon. Gives it up to Ronaldinho. 89th minute now. Canceron looking for something to do with it. Verratti has it in the middle, trying to move forward. Closa with the sliding challenge. Here's Pastore. Gives it up to Ronaldinho here on the near side. Carlos Martinez will run him off the ball. And that will bring us to the 90th minute. See how much stoppage time is going to be added on here. 3 minutes of added time here as Ronaldinho loses it out over the touchline. And that's kind of been the story of the day for Canceron. Goal kick is going to be taken short. Here's Pizzi. Up to Van Ginkel. Gemenon just waiting for that whistle to blow so they can secure their 4-1 victory. As Van Ginkel working on the substitute QB, he's going to take it away. Pass forward for Ervetti. While attempted to be sent in, Carlos Martinez is going to go get a foot on it for Gemenon. Cahill will track it down. Give back for Pizzi. Verratti moving it forward now for Canceron. Maybe one last chance to at least get one more in. As Pastore loses it to the defense, it will go out for a corner kick. So again, set piece, one last chance. You're trying to salvage some goal differential here. QB sends it in, short to the spot, headed away, and Welbeck gets a foot on it to boot it out of the box. And that will do it. An impressive showing here for Gemenon. They defeat Canceron 4-1. Welbeck puts in 2 goals. Routledge and Martinez join in as well. And a very good statement here for Gemenon as they take down the Hydras of Canceron. Lots and lots of questions to be asked in that Canceron locker room and on the trip home. So here you take a look at the final numbers. 11 shots, 5 of them on target for Gemenon, 3 shots, just 1 on target for Canceron. Canceron led the possession, but not by as much as they had been at the half. Pretty decent passing from both sides as well. So that is going to do it here from Gemenon. Excuse me, we have one more match yet to go here. Caprica and Leonis. Hope you stick around for that one. Until then, I am Nate. Let's go. Thank you, and we will see you again in a few minutes.